Hi, this is Laurel from LEP Crafts, and I want to share with you this Shabby Chic album I've been working on. To begin with, I want to show you what the inside pages look like before I add pattern paper or embellishments. I made these base pages by using my Cricut and Anna Griffin's Lace Cards and Embellishments cartridge. I took a rectangle and I merged it with the shadow layer for this really pretty lace border. And then I cut it out to make the base page. Then you would just add the lace border like you normally would. You could do this with a border punch or a die. You just might have to make a little seam to attach it to the page. This is the album, and it is 7 inches wide and 8 3/4 inches tall. The spine is 2.5 inches wide. I've used graphic 45 paper. In fact, I've used 5 lines to get the shabby chic look I wanted. Those lines are A Lady's Diary, Sweet Sentiments, Secret Garden, Botanical Tea, and Gilded Lily. And don't worry, I'm going to write this all down in the description so you don't have to remember it. The album uses Kathy Orta's Hidden Hinge Plus binding system, and we'll talk more about that later. On the cover, I've added a resin frame with this picture from Lady's Diary, some paper flowers by Prima, the Princess line I think, some velvet pansies, and some different kinds of bling, including these beautiful gems and settings by Marion. I really love those. On the spine, I've added this petal textured ribbon, and I think it gives it a really cool vintage look. On the back, I have the lace again, some bling and flowers, and a little bluebird in a nest, which is also by Marion and I think is super cute. On the inside front cover, I've added a flap, well, 2 flaps, and they have a closure that kind of looks like an inner office envelope. Now when I make these, I like to use the paper from the cover that's a little thicker to punch out my circles. It gives it a little bit more durability. Inside, I've made a corner pocket and added a tag, a large tag, with some heat embossed stamping. On this page, we have another pretty image from Lady's Diary and some bling. I like to add a lot of flaps and pockets to my mini albums because I think it's really cool to have interactivity. I also really like pockets because you can add movie tickets, you can add keepsakes and envelopes, you can add anything to a pocket. It doesn't have to be a photograph. And that's a really cool way to keep all sorts of memories in your album. A lot of these stamps are from the Gilded Lily collection. This tag uses a large medallion from that same Anna Griffin cartridge. And I've also used the lace cartridge to edge some of the pockets. I do use magnets in my albums, and it's not just because it keeps it tidy, it's because I feel like it holds everything in. So when you transport your album, you know, to show it to a friend or something, all the tags and little pieces you've put in it don't necessarily fall out. In fact, I hope they don't fall out at all. I really like how all this paper came together. I mean, it's a lot of lines, but I think they work well. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And I've done a few places where I've hidden an image behind a small flap. And that's a really cute image, again from Lady's Diary. And another one of the big medallions from the Anna Griffin cartridge. And I just love this Gilded Lily paper. It's just really pretty and elegant. And some places I've tried to layer flaps and made things a little more interesting so everything isn't the same on each page, that every time you turn a page it's a little different and a little something interesting. Another thing I do like to do with my mini albums is when I have a pretty pattern I like that's maybe a little busy, I like to mirror the pages. And in this case, I've mirrored the tags, so the same on the outside and the inside. And I think that looks really nice and cohesive. And here's another beautiful image from Lady's Diary. And now this is from a 12 by 12 piece, but the rest of the album has primarily been from 8 by 8 albums. And here at the back we have another flap that's got the same type of closure. And inside I've made a great big pocket with that lace border at the top. And inside I've added one of these tags that are kind of folded into a folder. And I've done that in a couple places because I wanted to give an opportunity to put a larger photo, because a lot of the flaps and pockets and tags aren't very big for a large photo. So I wanted to have a couple of places where you could add a great big photo. So that's my Shabby Chic album, and I hope you like it. Oh, I almost forgot. The binding system. This is Kathy Orta's Hidden Hinge Plus binding system, and she is getting it patented. And I will add a link to her site where you can find more information about it, including where to get the licenses or tutorials on how to make it. I'm also going to add a link to her YouTube video about how to make it and the information she wants you to know about it. The only thing I did different is that she uses Tyvek when she makes her Hidden Hinge binding system, but I couldn't find Tyvek in a color I really liked for this album. So I used Sizzix's leather paper, which is another paper that doesn't tear very easily and is very strong. And I really liked it. Came in a pink that matched the color I wanted to use for this album. It's a really nice binding system that allows your album to sit very flat and stable, as opposed to the pages flipping up like this, like they can do with other binding systems. So I highly suggest you look into it because I really enjoyed working with this binding system. So please let me know if you have any other questions, if there's any information I didn't give you, or if there are any embellishments or other items I used that you want to know where I got it or where you might be able to find it. Thank you again for watching. Bye.